Hi there, and welcome to the Rangers News YouTube channel. It's Jordan Carlisle here alongside James Black.
How are you doing?
Too bad. We're just going to have a wee look at this point towards an exciting week for the Colts team, which would follow quite closely throughout the season. You've been to plenty of other games and in various competitions. So Atletico Madrid on Wednesday in the UEFA Youth League.
Yep.
And then up to Inverness on Sunday for the semi-final of the Challenge Cup. It's been, a couple of months since the last game, which was at Ibrox.
Wrexham at Ibrox.
And that's, a chance to basically get into a final and have a shot at some sort of silverware. So we're just going to have a look and see about individuals that will be playing in these games and that sort of stuff, and whether it's a sign of good things to come in the future.
I certainly think so. We've all kind of seen some of the boys that are going to be involved, like your Nathan Pattersons, I think Josh McPake will likely be involved at some point, and there'll be a few others that's Kai Kennedy, Kieran Dixon. And I think it's a really promising time for kind of young lads at Rangers coming through. The chance to get this one-off playoff game, Atletico Madrid in the Youth League at Firhill. I should come up against a really, really good side there. And for me, like the one on Sunday's the really big one. Inverness Caley in the Challenge Cup semi-finals. Yeah. It's depending on how results go at the weekend, it's potentially a step away from Hampden. As things stand, it's still the last piece of silverware even that the first team won.
Aye, well, that's true. So that would show, wouldn't it, really, in terms of if you're talking about progression. Yeah. You have a team which, for most of the season as well, have been missing a lot of their best players away on loan.
I think it just shows, just kind of how strong this side is and just how much quality's coming through it. The Hummel Training Centre. I think it's a competition that the first team failed to win 3 times. I think it would be some achievement first of all, if they can get to Hampden. I mean, some achievement getting to the semis. Yeah. They've played some cracking teams, Solihull, Wrexham, Stranraer, some really good sides in that, and they've come through it really well.
Yeah, well, when you see that, the what was the score at Stranraer? Was that 2-0 away? Yeah. So, which is the same score that the first team had in a home game against them. Obviously, Stranraer maybe giving guys minutes in those sorts of games, but it is really impressive that they've got to this stage. And one of the things that your Graham Murdy's and your Lovenkranzes are talking about earlier in the year is the need to get competitive football, to really break these guys in, because they won the reserve league last season, but showed how much or how little in actual terms that meant by pulling it out of it for this season and saying we need better stuff. So the fact that the youth league is kicked off and we've got past young boys, Slovan Bratislava, some reasonable teams on size clubs in Europe get through to that point, and also to be competing against first teams to get through to the semi-final here. So I think it's a great sign that these guys are mixing it with men and stuff, and then you've got the Patterson coming through to play against Stranraer and Kai Kennedy coming through as well. But so who do you think then? It's going to be roughly, there's some differences in the regulations in terms of the teams that can play.
Yeah.
In terms of Wednesday and on Sunday, but the players, as obviously you've spoken about before, so we've got Patterson at right back, Kennedy on the wing. Kieran Dixon is a guy who I think has got a little less coverage than other guys, because obviously he hasn't made his first team debut and stuff, but he's a guy who scored, I think in the Youth Cup final last year at Hampden against Celtic, scored an equaliser against Celtic in the City of Glasgow Cup last week, and as a guy consistently seems to come up with big goals. You've got your Dabo Maboud, who missed, who was in Dubai, but missed with, I think he had a throat infection, couldn't play in the mid-season friendly. So
James Maxwell's another one that's really impressed me every time I've seen him.
Left wing?
He started out in the right wing, I believe. Right wing it was against Wrexham. Really versatile young guy, and then kind of had to get moved later in the game. But there's some really. You've even got Nathan Young-Coombs coming through. There's boys in the group behind that aren't even really getting a look in at the kind of development squad, Colts, kind of reserve level. It's just such a really good time, and I think it speaks volumes for the coaches as well. Guys like Graham Murty, Craig Mulholland, Peter Lovenkranz, the work they're doing with these boys they're now competing with some of the best sides in Europe and kind of some of the biggest teams in Scotland. And Caley's one of these teams just now that are looking to get back into the Premiership. So, I mean, it's definitely, it's no mean feat to be competing with these kind of sides for silverware.
Yeah, I think it also maybe speaks of good recruitment. So it's good development and also good recruitment, because a lot of those guys have come through from their no age. But you've got the likes of young Coombs, who's come in and made a difference. He came from Chelsea just over a year ago, I think. And I'm pretty sure he scored 3 goals in the last round across the 2 legs. So he's a guy who's a bit younger than the rest. I think is he still 16, maybe turned 17?
Yeah, 16, 17.
But a guy who's contributing and showing the fact that he's left a massive setup at Chelsea, which up until this season didn't have a great reputation for pushing talent on. And he's come up here and he's getting opportunities. So the problem is we don't know much about Atletico Madrid. We just know that first team wise, well, they're not having a great season this season. No. We're talking European giants, but that will be it's going to be some test. And the whole thing as well is what the coaches talk about is the different styles of play.
Yeah,
so they play Stranraer and it's physical, and they play Atletico, who you would assume are going to look to spray the ball about and play proper stuff.
Even things like the kick-off time are going to prove to be something just a little bit different for them, because it's a 1 o'clock kick-off on a Wednesday afternoon. Schools are off, so there should be a decent crowd at Firhill for it. So I mean, for a lot of these boys, it's likely going to be it's live in BT Sport. You know, so it's going to be for a lot of these boys the first time they've played a live televised game. Going to be playing in not a Saturday afternoon, but going to be playing in an afternoon setting with a decent gate. It's going to have should have a boisterous crowd. Yeah, should be a great experience for them.
And then an away day on Sunday.
And then an away day up to Inverness, playing against a side who are doing fairly well in the league.
So it's one leg. It's one leg on Wednesday.
Yeah, just a single game on Wednesday. Yeah.
And we're looking to get through it, and do you get through the last 32 or something like that? If you
last
get through that,
8 or something. I believe it is. Yeah.
Oh, right enough. I didn't even know. That's
last 8. I'm sure it is.
But basically, a massive opportunity then. So hopefully, we'll have good news on both fronts for that. But
it'll be a massive week.
The major thing, I think, there's a little bit of frustration at the minute from supporters about guys not getting pushed on. So you see Patterson, and then you see him drop to the bench, and then you see him drop out of the squad. And I think that's sort of necessitated by the fact that we're trying to push for the league. The team are trying to push for cups and silverware.
Yeah.
But would we say, if you have a bit of patience, if fans show some patience, that there will be people pushing to come through in the next couple of years?
I think when you look at this group in particular, especially compared to recent years, they're a really young group. Typically you'd have 19, 20, 21-year-olds kicking about your reserves. A lot of these boys are 16, 17, 18. So they're kind of further down the ladder, as it were.
Yeah.
But they're higher up the food chain. It's a weird one. They've really put a real emphasis on promoting players who have got the talent, rather than are just, well, you're 19, so you play in this group, and you're 16, so you play in this group. It's you're the best players, so you play in this group, and that's really how it should be for me. So I think it's brilliant to see, and it's something that's going to really help these boys kick on, and I think I have a real chance at making first team squads at Rangers consistently.